Good day. I'm Bishop Harry W. Ships, Bishop of the Diocese of Georgia, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our diocese, which encompasses the southern 3/5 of the state of Georgia, 33,000 square miles, the same size as the country of Portugal. Episcopalians began their life in this part of the country in 1733 with the arrival of General Oglethorpe in Savannah. And for 90 years, the Episcopalians in this part of the country were ministered to by the bishops in South Carolina. And finally, in 1823, the Diocese of Georgia was founded, with its first bishop in Savannah. And ever since then, the bishops of this diocese have been resident in Savannah and with the offices of the diocese located in this city. Presently, the offices are in a building at 611 East Bay Street in Savannah. We want to talk to you and show you events in the life of the diocese having to do with our mutual ministry and mission. The Christian religion is a social, corporate, communal religion in which we support one another in our mission and ministry in a given area we call a diocese. The word diocese comes from a Greek word meaning family, or in a more general sense, an extended family. And in the historic church, this extended family was presided over by a chief pastor called a bishop, from the Greek word episkopos, from whence our church gets its name. Other churches are also episcopal churches. And in an episcopal church, in contrast to a congregational church, the diocese is the basic unit or building block of the church. There are 99 dioceses in this country, and the Episcopal Church US of A is one of 29 provinces throughout the world that encompass 164 nations with about 70 million members, which makes the Anglican Communion, or the Episcopal Church, the third largest body in Christendom, the Roman Catholic Church being the largest and the Eastern Orthodox churches being the second largest. Over 100 priests and deacons are canonically resident in the Diocese of Georgia, a large majority of whom are in active ministry. A bishop in the Episcopal Church is the chief liturgical officer of the diocese and the chief sacramental officer. One of my main ministries is to visit each parish and mission in the diocese. I try to do this at least within 18 months. As I go around, usually on weekends, I'm asked by the canons of the church to preach the gospel, to celebrate the Holy Eucharist, to administer baptism or confirmation if needed, and to inquire as to the general health and welfare of the clergy and the parish. In addition to that, the bishop ordains persons to the diaconate or to the sacred priesthood. He's involved in the institution of new rectors in their parishes or other new ministries that happen in the diocese. This is one of the most enjoyable parts of the Episcopal ministry. The 68 congregations in the diocese are about evenly divided between missions and parishes. A mission congregation is a congregation that may be small or it may be of modest size, but in any event they have not arrived at the permanent status with permanent buildings and fiscal self-sufficiency that a parish has. But eventually we hope that many, if not all, of the missions will become parishes in the diocese. The Mission Development Commission, comprised of 6 priests and 6 laypersons, counsels me on the expansion of our missionary program in South Georgia. We, of course, want to develop our missions so that they may become parishes, which therefore involves the erection of adequate buildings, both for worship and for fellowship and educational purposes. We need to buy land, and we need to help congregations using other church buildings to develop their own property. And all of this is a part of my missionary oversight.
I think St. Francis of the Islands is representative of how a church goes from mission to parish status. It was founded by a group of Episcopalians who got together and wanted to have a parish, a church, here on Wilmington Island. And so they put in their time and their money and their work. It was very much self-help from the very beginning. When they met, as they did for some years in the local elementary school, many of them had to take parts of the sanctuary, a collapsible altar, collapsible rail, cushions, chairs, and of course vessels, with them to the site. They also spent much of their time in preparing the land that we're on right now, again through self-help. It was cleared. Much of the original work was done by people in the mission. It's through their efforts, really, and through their wisdom and foresight in from the very beginning putting aside the funds that would allow them to develop their building structures, that we have what we have today.
I've asked every congregation to have a program of community outreach, and you'll be seeing some of that in this program. I've asked every congregation to have a ministry of evangelism in place so that the good news of the gospel may be proclaimed to other people. And I've also asked that every congregation have a stewardship program in place, wherein Christian stewardship of time, talent, and treasure is constantly held before each and every one of us.
Well, I go back to before the beginning, as they say. We began at Christ Church to recognize a need for feeding the hungry, and Susan Harrison, who is now deacon, put a little comment in our bulletin about anyone who was interested should come and meet with her, and 8 of us, I believe, came and began to go once a week for an hour and pray together and talk, and after a year we became a soup kitchen because there were other churches in the downtown that also had seen the need, and so out of that grew the name Emmaus House and a core group that met with other churches and formed the soup kitchen.
I come mostly every day, not every day, but mostly every day. And I eat quite a few places, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy the people that takes the time out of their busy schedules, and come down and prepare. So many of them don't get paid for this or nothing, It's just the goodness of them, And to me, it's a wonderful thing, And I really enjoy it.
The volunteers are real beautiful people. They give up their time and their self. They enjoy what they do. And it makes you happy to be able to work and learn more about people that's on the street. Because we never know if we have to become one of them. And we would wish somebody would take the time to do wonderful things for us.
I'm Deacon Jim Aton. I've been asked to talk a few minutes about what we're doing about the problem of HIV disease in the Augusta area. I want you to know I'm proud to be part of what has come to be known as the St. Stephen's Ministry of Augusta, devoted to patients with HIV disease and their loved ones. The statistics are overwhelming. There are over 200,000 cases of AIDS reported in the United States now. That is the advanced stage of the disease, and actually probably close to 1.5 million people in this country are infected with the virus, and at least 10 million worldwide. Last summer, the Augusta Convocation decided to really do something about the problem. This effort was spearheaded by Father Joe Way and the parishioners at St. Albans, but all of the churches now in the Augusta area have become involved. It's the only thing of its kind in the Augusta area. We have 2 homes now for homeless HIV patients. A 3rd and a 4th home are soon to be open. 9 persons have been or are currently living in these homes, which are financially supported and managed by the St. Stephen's Ministry. This includes a family of 5 with 2 children, two of 3 children who are infected with the virus. My friends, love is the work to which we are called today as Christ's own people. It's the work of the heart and the work of the soul and the work of the mind. And it is Christ's command to us, our privilege to perform it. Amen.
My spirituality has definitely been increased by the ministry. Just merely its presence alone, the warmth, the comfort, the love, and just accepting me as a human being with all my faults and flaws. It was a wonderful confirmation to what I believed the love of Christ was about.
I'd like to give you an idea of what it's like to visit the convent. Guests come to the convent as individuals to spend quiet time with the Lord in prayer, sometimes at times of transitions in their lives, sometimes simply to get away. Groups come to the convent to run their own programs or to ask us to run programs for them. We've hosted meetings of diocesan committees, and we also run open retreats and conferences that anyone can come to. If you come to the convent, you'll have a room. We supply all linens, food. You need only bring your clothes and personal articles. You're welcome to join in our services and encouraged to do so, but you're certainly not under any obligation to do so. We have woods for walking in. The chapel is open 24 hours a day for prayer. Not only do people come to the convent from all over the diocese, but also sisters go to parishes. We can come to a parish to conduct a quiet day or to conduct an education hour, occasionally to preach, various other reasons. So not only can you come to the convent, but we can come to you.
Welcome to the Georgia Episcopal Conference Center, popularly known as Honey Creek, in Camden County, just a few miles south of Brunswick off of I-95. This is a center, one of the great centers of the life of the Diocese of Georgia. Folks have been coming here for programs and events since 1960. In those years, we have developed the camp marvelously, adding new buildings, as we are continuing to do right to today. Conferences are held here in the summertime for the youth and during the rest of the year for parish weekends, for Cursillo, for New Beginnings, for Happening, and for practically any use that the church may want of this lovely center. Father Charles Hay is the manager of this center, and he resides here with his wife, Dot, in one of the homes here at the entranceway to this conference center. The chapel right behind me has been the scene of worship and liturgy over these 30-some years that has really touched the hearts of so many people. It is the center of our life here. We have dormitories for young people and motel units for adults. We have meeting rooms and lovely dining rooms with wonderful food. And we really are proud of this, one of the finest centers in the Southeast. Welcome to Honey Creek.
Do you reaffirm the renunciation of evil and renew your commitment to Jesus Christ?
Each year in February, the clergy of the diocese and elected representative laity from each parish and mission gather in diocesan convention. At convention, many things take place, including some very grand liturgies. We have the deal with legislative items, and resolutions, and canons. We have guest speakers to encourage us and to broaden our vision of the church. Amongst the legislative items is a diocesan budget for that new year. And that diocesan budget, once it is passed, then is administered by my office here in Savannah. Funding for the diocesan budget comes from the pledges from each parish and mission. The amount of those pledges is determined by the diocesan convention and the executive council with the help of a finance committee. About 21% of that money goes to the life of the Episcopal Church outside of the Diocese of Georgia, where we support 15 missionary dioceses in this country and over 20 missionary dioceses in other countries, mainly in Central and South America.
I hope you have enjoyed this program on the life of the Diocese of Georgia, whether you be an inquirer, a new Episcopalian, or a member of our church all of your life. I look forward to our mutual ministry in South Georgia as the years go by. Thank you very much.